As we grow older, we often hear the saying that people gradually shift from being sociable to embracing solitude. At first glance, sociability and solitude may seem like complete opposites, but in reality, they complement each other in the different stages of life. When we're young, we naturally seek social interactions. We're curious about the world, eager to form connections, and explore friendships. However, as the years pass, our perspective changes. By the time we reach middle age and beyond, the urge to engage socially often fades. It's not because we've become indifferent, but because we've lived through many experiences, encountered all kinds of people, and gained a deeper understanding of life. As a result, we may feel less inclined to actively seek out social interactions with strangers or even friends. In this video, we'll explore the reasons behind this shift toward solitude in later years, and why visiting friends, especially in old age, may not always be the best idea. Let's begin by understanding why this shift toward solitude happens naturally over time. In our younger years, inviting friends over for meals or chatting into the night can feel exciting. Maybe you remember those times when you hosted a dinner party, laughing with friends over homemade food, or visited someone's home for a relaxed get-together. Back then, these gatherings felt easy and joyful, a way to connect without constraints. They created moments where friendships deepened naturally through shared experiences. But as life progresses, we realize that not every friendship lasts the same way. Take this example. Perhaps you've had a friend who used to drop by frequently, and you loved having them around. But somewhere along the way, it stopped feeling as fun. It became an obligation, something that drained you rather than energized you. Or maybe you found yourself questioning whether some friendships were built on convenience rather than genuine care. This shift is something many people experience as they grow older. Relationships that once felt refreshing can start to feel like emotional work. It's not just about losing interest. It's about recognizing that our time and energy become more precious. And so, we naturally begin to prioritize what truly matters: meaningful connections and moments of peace. For many, solitude isn't loneliness, it's freedom from unnecessary social expectations. Example: let's say you invite an old friend over for coffee and they accept, but it becomes clear they are there out of courtesy. Maybe they glance at their watch a few times, or the conversation feels forced. It leaves you wondering, was it really worth the effort? Experiences like this make us realize that not every interaction adds value. On the other hand, some older adults prefer to meet their friends outside, like at a quiet cafe or a park, where it's easier to keep things light without the pressure of hosting. But even this can become tiring over time, especially when visits start to feel more like a chore. These are the moments when we begin to embrace solitude as a gift. Instead of hosting guests or making visits out of obligation, we focus on things that bring us joy, spending time with family, enjoying a hobby, or simply relaxing without the pressure to entertain. Next, let's look at a few specific challenges that visiting others, especially frequently, can bring. These might surprise you, but they're realities many older adults face. Let's explore some of the challenges that can arise when visiting friends or inviting others over during old age. These situations may seem harmless on the surface, but they can quickly become burdensome if not managed carefully. One challenge is that visits can disturb family dynamics. Even with the best intentions, visiting someone's home might create tension. Picture this. You're excited to reconnect with an old friend. They warmly invite you over, and you take that as a sign that your visits are welcome. But behind the scenes, their spouse or family members might not feel the same way, seeing these visits as disruptive to their routine or personal space. For example, Uncle Ma reconnected with a high school classmate living nearby, and they began meeting regularly over drinks at his friend's house. For Uncle Ma, this became a cherished routine, something to look forward to. But soon, the friend's wife started showing subtle signs of frustration. Eventually, the friend admitted, "My wife and kids feel like their privacy is being invaded every time you visit." What Uncle Ma thought was an innocent reunion ended up causing strain between his friend and their family. The lesson here is that what might feel like a simple social call to one person can be a disruption for another household. And it's not always about personal rejection. Sometimes, it's just about respecting boundaries and recognizing that everyone's living situation is different. Another issue is that frequent visits can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts. Conversations meant to be light-hearted can quickly turn into gossip or awkward situations, creating friction within families. Miss Wong, a retiree, loved spending time with other women from her community. And on rainy days, they would gather at each other's homes, chatting about everything from their hobbies to family matters. One day, during a visit, Miss Wong casually mentioned her daughter-in-law's reluctance to help with housework, joking that only children are often a bit spoiled. Unfortunately, word of this comment somehow reached her daughter-in-law, causing a rift between them that left Miss Wong feeling embarrassed and misunderstood. Her son even scolded her for gossiping, making things even more uncomfortable at home. This experience taught Miss Wong that even innocent remarks can be twisted when shared among others, and after that incident, she decided it was better to avoid long visits and focus on her own activities, like dancing and watching her favorite dramas at home. Economic differences between friends can also cause discomfort. Even among old friends, subtle differences in financial status can create feelings of unease. While conversations may start innocently, regular visits can sometimes trigger comparisons, whether intentional or not. Imagine two neighbors who get along well, with one living modestly and the other enjoying a more comfortable lifestyle. At first, they enjoy each other's company, but after a few visits, subtle differences start to stand out. One family might offer fancier meals or make casual remarks about their recent vacations. These comparisons, though unintended, can create a sense of unease, leading the less well-off person to feel self-conscious or envious. It's not that either person is at fault, this is simply human nature. But the mental burden of such comparisons can make regular visits feel more like a source of stress than joy, which is why many people find it easier to avoid these situations altogether and focus on living peacefully within their own means. In each of these examples, we see how even well-meaning social visits can create challenges. Whether it's family tension, misunderstandings, or financial discomfort, these situations remind us that sometimes solitude is not just a preference. It's a practical choice. In the next section, we'll explore ways to maintain meaningful connections without the stress of frequent visits, along with tips on how to enjoy companionship without disrupting others or feeling burdened yourself. Now that we've explored the challenges of social visits in old age, let's shift our focus to ways we can still maintain meaningful connections without the stress of frequent visits. While solitude offers peace and freedom, it's important to find a balance, as complete isolation isn't healthy either. Fortunately, there are ways to stay socially connected that fit comfortably within the rhythms of later life. One way to enjoy companionship without the burden of hosting or visiting is to meet friends in neutral spaces, like a local cafe, a park, or a community center. Meeting outside the home creates a lighter atmosphere where there's no pressure to prepare meals or manage household dynamics, and it makes it easier to leave when the time feels right. For example, instead of inviting an old friend over for coffee, suggest meeting at a nearby cafe. This allows both of you to enjoy the interaction without feeling overwhelmed by the responsibilities of hosting, creating a more relaxed and enjoyable experience. Technology can also play a helpful role in staying connected. Many older adults find that occasional phone or video calls are a good alternative to physical visits. Platforms like Zoom or FaceTime provide opportunities to chat with friends and family from the comfort of home, and with just a click, you can end the conversation whenever you need to rest. For instance, a quick video call to a grandchild can be just as meaningful as an in-person visit, without the exhaustion that sometimes accompanies face-to-face interactions. Another way to nurture relationships without frequent visits is by engaging in shared activities or hobbies. This could be anything from joining a book club or gardening group to participating in community events that align with your interests. These activities provide opportunities to connect with others naturally, without the need for constant invitations or visits. It also allows you to meet like-minded individuals who share your passions, which can lead to deeper, more meaningful friendships over time. It's also important to be mindful of the relationships you choose to invest in. As we grow older, it's natural to become more selective about who we spend time with. Prioritize spending time with those who truly add joy to your life. Friends and family who make you feel valued and supported rather than drained. At the same time, it's perfectly okay to let go of relationships that no longer serve you. Sometimes, it's not the quantity of connections that matters, but the quality of the few you choose to maintain. Finally, remember that it's okay to set boundaries around social interactions. If you need time alone to recharge, communicate that clearly to friends and family so they know it's not personal. Learning to say no without guilt is an essential skill, especially in later years when protecting your peace becomes a priority. For example, if a friend invites you out and you'd rather stay in, it's okay to politely decline. In the end, life in old age is about finding what brings you peace and joy. Whether that means spending more time alone or being selective about the social connections you keep, the key is to live in a way that feels right for you. Solitude can be a gift, and meaningful interactions don't have to be frequent to be valuable. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and share it with others who might benefit. Take care, and see you in the next one.